Hey guys, welcome to Crypto Scene Investigation, where we look into projects and see whether or not they're worth investing in. Today we'll be looking at Thetan Arena. Now remember, with anything I say, don't consider it as legal financial advice. Should only be used for entertainment, inspirational, and educational purposes. So let's have a look into Thetan Arena. First of all, what exactly is this? Thetan Arena is an esport game based on blockchain technology where you can gather your friends, you can form a team, battle with others, and earn money with just your skills. So there is a bit of a deeper explanation, but you can go and pause the video and read it yourself if you wish to. But yeah, so I personally actually downloaded this game myself just to sort of try it out and see if it was, worth it. And honestly, it's kind of fun. It's kind of a pretty fun game. But what we want to chat about is it worth investing in? Because that's what we really want to know. So let's go through some statistics and find out. So as we can see, when it was actually launched through, I'm assuming that this is the public sale, which we're looking at here. So we were at about $1.06. Now, during the private sale, I believe that it was worth 0.08 cents, if I recall correctly. And we can see that it actually went up to over $20, and we're currently sitting at about 5.7. So that's currently where things are. Let's have a look at the BSC Check. So I'm not exactly sure what this is talking about, but this is talking about the sort of dev tokens, and it's saying contract code suspicious burn function detected. So that's a bit interesting. Liquidities, so 98% burned or locked, so about over 98%, which is good. We do want to be seeing that. Top holders, now the top holders are saying about 1%. So it's what's really awesome from what we are seeing here is that we don't see any great big holders, even though this one could possibly be considered as one of the bigger ones. But we'll have a look at some of the other tokenomics as well. So let's actually have a look at Token Sniffer. So Token Sniffer says 5 out of 10 high risk. Sorry, 5 out of 100, big pardon. So source does not contain a pausable contract. So the source code contains a pausable contract which could potentially allow transfers to be halted. With something like this, I don't see that as much of a red flag, but it's a potential red flag. Most projects I see usually have an X next to this one, so I'm not really too kind of fazed by it. So it's just ownership has not been renounced by the owner of the contract, or the source does not, or the source does contain an owner contract. So the owner wallet contains less than 5%, which I think possibly negates this little shebang here. All other holders possess less than 5% of the token supply. As we saw, that's probably not completely true, especially when we can see that 9.59%, and at least 95% of liquidity burned / locked, which, I mean, I think that this sort of stat maybe, so this is the same wallet, this is the same contract which I used in here, so 9FD, 9FD, right? So it's the same one. So different sites will sort of pick up different things, and pick up different statistics. So in terms of that, I think that maybe these guys might actually have it more wrong than these guys here. So let's continue looking. So this is the BSC scan, because it's on the Binance Smart Chain. And here's some of the holders. So as we can see, there are certain numbers of some wallets which are just, they almost kind of seem pre-made, and that might sound a bit peculiar, me saying it like that, but these sort of feel like they are kind of locked to be released at certain times. Now I do have some things regarding the actual release schedule, and there was a little bit of fishiness which I was sort of reading when I was sort of trying to read behind it. So currently, so this would be the 16th of January 2022. This is the total circulating, the total essentially circulating percentage, right? Or for that, I guess, wallet. But the weird thing for me is that when I look at some of these, I just it just feels kind of a little bit fishy to me, to be honest. Because I mean, so it says quantity, right? So we have 84 million. We have a look at CoinMarketCap. CoinMarketCap says self-reported circulating supply. So self-reported means that the CoinMarketCap team has not verified that the project circulating supply. However, according to the project, its self-reported circulating supply and self-reported market cap are as follows. So yes, as we could see from that sort of thing, it doesn't feel like it kind of lines up with this sort of jazz. So not exactly sure what these extra wallets are used for, because when I did actually try to have a look at the extra sort of tokenomics, so these are the general token metrics. So we have gaming issuance is 19%, staking issuance is 21%, strategic sale 10, liquidity 5, reserve fund 9, ecosystem fund 10, team 21, advisors 5. Now, here is what could happen. Okay, I'm not saying this will happen, but this is a possibility. Because we have so anything which is less than 30% allocated to the team is generally supposed to be a good project, right? But when I have a look at some of these others, so strategic sale, reserve fund, ecosystem fund, team, and advisors, we're looking at a little bit above 50%. A little bit above 50%. So somewhere probably between 50 to possibly 55%. Which means that the rug could be pulled from underneath it. Now, did the game feel like it was super crisp condition? It felt like a very early access game, which didn't really have too much to it when I personally was playing it just before. So, could this be a rug pull? Potentially, but if it is a rug pull, and here's one thing why I think that it may not be a rug pull, is because they have this much value, right? So this would be like its value in USD, right? So $485 million. Like, if it is a rug pull, they would have at least done something with these so far. I do believe that this has been audited as well. They actually do have an audit paper on their website. You can look it up. So I believe it's right down the bottom here. So they have an audit report which was done by VeraChains. So you can look that up yourself if you really want to, but we won't be going into that today. Yes, if you did want to look at it, and if you saw something fishy on there, please feel free to sort of comment there if you want to. Yeah. So, yes, I'm not exactly sure how some of these line up with, or how some of the numbers kind of line up along BSC Check, where we have that 9.59. Because according to this, I mean, there is no wallet which says that it contains 9.59, and this is coming directly from the actual BSC scan. So it's all kind of weird, to be honest, in my point of view. But I mean, it could just be calculated 9.59% of the total circulation, right? Because what we are currently seeing here is ones which are likely also locked as well as in circulation, because this is pretty much the whole entire percentage, right? So total supply, like 420 million, right? So yeah, so that's just a little bit of that jazz. So let's actually have a look and see what sort of other stats we can find out as well. So this is the Reddit stats. So we've only got about 2,000 subscribers, but what's interesting is when you actually have a look on their Reddit, like, there are a bunch of people still posting about stuff, hey? So I personally think that people are actually a little bit like me, where they like the game. I mean, it's free to play, it's kind of simple-ish, it's like a little bit fun, you can, get rewards and stuff, and the fact that it's also on multiple platforms, like we actually saw on the original page. So Android, iOS, PC, .apk. So those are, like, that sort of says to me that there is something a bit more viable to it. So this game very much does remind me of the game which we did see, or which I did a review on recently-ish, called The Last Survivor. So yeah, so this definitely sort of has like similar, I guess, things with that. So subscribers, we can see that it has gone up quite exponentially. So it was in the few sort of hundreds, and then it went whoop, and went kind of decently. We can also have a look at the roadmap as well, but we'll do that soon. So subscriber rank, comments per day. So it was dipping, and then we've definitely seen more comments a little bit down right now, but that doesn't mean that it's bad. once again, that doesn't mean that it's bad. It's just sort of showing the community interaction. So you know, same thing, a little bit down, and then boom, influx, and then there we go. So yeah, I don't think that's really bad at all, to be honest. So let's have a look at the Twitter social stats, the social blade. In the last 30 days, 118,000 subscribers. That is a heck of a lot, man. Sorry, followers, I should say. Yeah, so out of 297,000, so that's about a third-ish, around about there. Actually, it's a little more than a third, I believe. Yeah, so it looks like most of the ones who came in the sort of around in the last 30-day mark, most of them sort of come around before the 16th. Then sort of after the 16th, well, actually, let's say after the 17th, because that's the last 3,000, we're sort of seeing a bit of a decline. But once again, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing, just because we see a bit of a decline now. When we actually have a look at some of these, sort of spammy comments. It doesn't look like it. It just sort of looks like people were just sort of generally commenting on it. And from what I have seen, from the amount of actual comments, I don't see anything that bad, to be honest. It doesn't feel like it's one of those projects which is being absolutely shilled. In fact, from anything, I would say that actually there hasn't really been much media talk about Thetan Arena, from what I have actually kind of seen. So I don't see a huge amount of talk, but it is a pretty impressive amount of followers. And look, it says 309,000 followers, so there must have been some sort of big news which just happened, right? So over the last 12 months, let's actually have a look at the last let's have a look over the last 3 months and see if we can see anything interesting. So, cool, so we have November 29th and 30th. If we have a look at the roadmap, we'll probably be able to find out exactly why that is. So Q3, so alpha test, so they had their THG IDO, okay, I think that might have been in November or October, because if we have a look at this, so they only really started collecting stats around the September sort of mark. Okay, so that's probably why it would have been like that, because we had that all-time high. Yes, so that makes a lot more sense. So that would have been a part of Q4 2021, beta test, official launch, special events, and hero rental. So it's quite cool. So we have 42 players, battle royale, cosmetic system, or at least I'm assuming that's battle royale guild. And so what's awesome is that these guys do actually have a roadmap showing what they're potentially leading up to, which I think is really awesome. So we've got tournament, battle pass, guild wars, streaming, co-op modes. So it doesn't seem like these guys are going to be trying to cut us short in terms of that stuff. So I think that's quite good. I think that actually shows a lot of positivity personally. So let's actually have a look at a bit of the gameplay. So it's pretty much like this. It's kind of cool. I don't know, it sort of has, is it League of Legends, which is kind of like this, like MOBA? Like, it sort of has a bit of like a MOBA kind of vibe to it. And I mean, we know how big League of Legends is. That's heckin' massive. So, let's have a look at what else we can find out about them. So, investors and partners. Now, there are a bunch of names which are definitely familiar. Animoca Brands, Axiate Ventures, DFG, Cardia Ventures. So Spark, definitely recognize those guys. AU21 Capital, yep, know those guys as well. The other names I don't recognize so well, but it doesn't look like they're people who are chumps from what I see. Another really awesome thing which I like about this project. So one thing which was a bit annoying, but it is a bit awesome. So we don't have direct links to their LinkedIn. That's irritating. So what did I do? I try to look them up individually, so we can actually have a look at their profiles and everything to see what we can find out about it. So CEO, blockchain advisor, so we got all these guys, CMOs and all that jazz. So we can see some of their history here already. So we have Abeka Solution. Pretty much all these guys were a part of, or most of them were a part of, we'll see if we can find it on here, Wolf Fun. So yeah, so most of these guys, I mean, I'm pretty sure that they just sort of converted from Wolf Fun game to Thetan Arena, and they just took a bunch of people over with them. Yeah, or they might have just changed their name or something like that, because a lot of these people actually do have sort of similar experiences in the area. So yeah, so from what I have seen of the team and everything, I mean, so technical advisor, we have founder, solution architect, Golang developer. So pretty much, I think that these guys are based, all of them are based in Vietnam, because I believe they're all Vietnamese. So Skylab, so that's cool. So that's Viet Tran, and then we have Danny, so research assistant. So I'm surprised why it doesn't say what he's currently doing, because so Danny is one of the so he is the COO and the blockchain economy, and he's in charge of blockchain economy design. So yeah, so I'm a little bit surprised why he hasn't really kind of listed that, unless of course I was looking at a completely different person's profile. No, they do look the same. So yeah, so CEO, game producer, game founder. So I mean, yeah, and this is Khan. I actually did see an interview with this guy in it, and during the interview there was, who else was in there? It was Honey. Not sure how you pronounce that. Sorry if I butchered it. Yeah. So, and then we have this person here who is, so Johnny, so he is the CMO. I believe that his name is only, so his name on here I think is just Try. So we have Trifam, and then, sorry, I got a little bit confused there, folks. So Dung Fan is Johnny Try Dung. Okay. So yeah, sorry, I was a little bit confused, but they have the same picture and everything. So yeah. Yeah, so he's been chief business officer for Cardia Chain, been a part of Galaxy Play. So yeah, I mean, these names probably don't really mean much to you guys, because, you know, like there's not a whole lot of information which we can actually see or find on them. But to me, I mean, the fact that they do have experience does really help me, and the fact that we can actually see their faces. That is an important thing, guys, is when we can actually see the team. We know who we're investing in. I mean, as I say, I have seen these guys on an interview, just Khan, who's CEO and founder and head of game design, and as I say, I've also seen Henny, who's the business development manager. So yeah, so the question we should be asking ourselves is this: should we invest in THG? In my opinion, I ain't gonna tell you. So I reckon do what you want with this, dude. Invest in it. Don't invest in it. Summary of the red flags. These stats don't seem to line up with these stats from what I've seen. So the release schedule in terms of circulating tokens. But other than that, I mean, it really doesn't. Yeah, I mean, by all means, jump onto it. And I mean, from what I've seen from their Discord community is definitely alive and well. So yeah, I'm not sure exactly how many people are in it just for the game, or how many people are actually in it to, you know, make extra money on the sort of blockchain, right? So I'm not exactly sort of sure in that kind of area. But yeah, anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. I have been Matt from Crypto Scene Investigation. If you would like, I would love a little like and subscribe, and you can turn on notifications so that you can actually, you know, come and witness these videos, see if, you know, they may be interesting for you. And this is my Patreon. We have one patron. Look at that. Our beautiful young man named Roy. Yeah. So he's going to be getting early access to this video. But yeah, if you guys want early access and stuff, and also if you do want video shoutouts, then you can choose to join my Patreon as well. And if you do want to leave a comment, first thing, please be kind in the comments. But secondly, if you do want to add any extra information which I didn't include in this video, you are very welcome to. So yeah, fare thee well and peace out.